Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Extraordinary Not Ordinary. Best known as Independence Day, July 4th is a special holiday that we actually celebrate each year in the United States. It commemorates the Declaration of Independence that actually occurred on July 4th in 1776. This is when the Continental Congress declared that the 13 American colonies would no longer be part of the monarch of Great Britain. Often called the 4th of July, we celebrate this holiday in history in diverse ways, with special parades, fireworks, family picnics, special ceremonies, and more. Personally, I love July 4th, but this recent 4th of July started out a bit sad. My father quietly passed away in the morning of 4th of July. He was also a veteran of the U.S. Army, so it was almost a fitting thing that he passed away on the 4th of July. But my dad was blessed with wonderful things in his life. He loved traveling. He also got a chance to go to different destinations throughout the world. And also, he was a devout people person, and he had diverse jobs where he actually had a chance to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. He had traveled the world, but one very special trip he actually was able to do in 2019 is definitely an example of extraordinary, not ordinary. He did the honor flight in 2019. And today I want to share more about this because the honor flight, what it is, how it started, and it has continued on a way to recognize and honor U.S. veterans. What is the Honor Flight, and more about it? The Honor Flight Network was actually formed in 2005 by Jeff Miller and Earl Morse. Their mission was to honor our nation's veterans by bringing them to Washington, D.C. to actually visit the different monuments and memorials for the service of veterans, dedicated service of veterans. And since 2005, the Honor Flight Network has taken more than 240,000 veterans to Washington, D.C., and they fly from over 150 different hubs in the United States, and they serve over 22,000 veterans per year. This is actually an all-expenses paid trip, so these veterans can actually see these memorials in Washington, D.C. The veterans don't have to pay anything. Originally, the Honor Flight Network was focusing on honoring veterans who had served in World War II, but now they honor veterans who have actually served in Korean War and Vietnam War. To participate in the Honor Flight, veterans can actually contact their nearest Honor Flight hub, and there are over 150 of these in the United States. And with the Honor Flight trip, the veterans actually have guardians who are there to assist them. A bit more about the Honor Flight that my dad actually took in 2019. He was actually picked up at his home very early morning and taken to the airport. In this case, he was flying out of Chicago Midway Airport. They had a guardian for each of the veterans on that honor flight to be with them, assist them, and help them throughout that long day trip. Also, they provided complimentary meals, and they took veterans in Washington, D.C. to the different memorials. And they also took pictures as well. It was fantastic. Family members had the whole itinerary, and they were actually able to go to the airport that evening with where the honor flight and veterans actually flew back. I took my mom to the airport that evening so we could be there for the arrival and also the ceremony and the event. And it was really wonderful. She was so happy to be there. They had a special area for us to be in. We could have seats, sit down, wait for the arrival area. And then they had a really wonderful arrival ceremony as well. And then I was able to drive my parents home that evening. And one of the things my dad talked about was, he said actually it was probably the best he'd ever taken his whole life. And mind you, he had actually traveled the world and more. He got free photographs. It was wonderful. And in 2020, the pandemic did put a pause on the Honor Flight Network's trips, but they did a recent update. And their operations will be resuming actually on August 16th, 2021. To find out more information about the Honor Flight, you can go to the website honorflight.org. They are a nonprofit, and by the way, they do accept donations. And their phone number is 937-521-2400. This truly is an example of extraordinary, not ordinary, and thank you so much, Honor Flight Network, for all that you do. Sharing positive, genuine efforts that people and companies, nonprofits do, helping the world in positive ways. Thanks for joining me today on Extraordinary Not Ordinary. Until next week, Cindy Bertram. Thank you.